Let me ask you a question that's going to sound completely backwards. How does being kicked out of a country and forced onto a flight to Moscow become the luckiest day of your life? If you've seen the headlines lately about Vitaly being deported to Russia, your first thought was probably that the guy finally hit rock bottom. But I'm telling you right now, that flight to Moscow is the only reason Vitaly isn't spending the next 20 years of his life in a concrete box in the middle of Manila. If you've been out of the loop on what's been happening in the Philippines, this is going to sound like a fever dream. But stick with me because the twist in this story isn't just about a prank gone wrong, it's about how one man dodged a literal life sentence by a stroke of pure, unearned luck. You're watching Viral Depth. So let's be real for a second. Vitaly is an idiot, we've known this for a decade, but what he did in the Philippines was a next-level kind of stupidity that I don't think even his biggest haters could have predicted. After he lost his team, I guess he thought the best way to rebound was to fly to a foreign country and treat the locals like NPCs in a video game. I'm talking about stealing a security motorcycle, running off with industrial fans, snatching hats off the heads of police officers. The guy even threatened to rob an elderly woman on a live stream. And through the whole thing, he's laughing. He's telling the camera, "It's just a prank, bro." He was literally welcoming jail time because in his head, it was all just more content for the stream. Well, I think the laughter stopped the second the handcuffs clicked and he realized that the Philippines doesn't play the same games the US does.
Very important question for you. Can I shove this up your booty? The shots are kicking in.
Hulihin mo yan. Hulihin mo yan.
He's not chasing me.
I know.
Hello!
Here is the part that should haunt every single IRL streamer watching this. In the Philippines, stealing a motorcycle isn't just a slap on the wrist. It's categorized as Grand Theft Auto, and that carries an automatic, non-negotiable 20-year prison sentence. Think about that. Vitaly's entire future, his entire life, was hanging by a thread. Everything depended on whether a prosecutor decided to charge him for the very crimes he livestreamed to the entire world. I was actually walking out of Jack Doherty's criminal trial just yesterday when I saw the news break. They were having yet another press conference with Vitaly, which is wild because it feels like his entire incarceration was just one long perp walk for the cameras.
It's clear he will not be deported just like that.
Oh no, hindi talagang we made a conscious decision not to have him deported.
And not only that, he may just move to another Asian country and do the same thing, right?
That's
For
right.
his content.
The problem was the entire press conference was in Tagalog, so I spent the last 24 hours getting it dubbed and translated just so we have a shot at understanding what actually happened behind those closed doors. And what I found out is honestly shocking. The officials stated that his cases were resolved. Now here's where the technicality saved his life. Vitaly holds a US green card, but he's a citizen of Russia. In the eyes of the Philippine government, they don't care about where you live, they only care about the passport in your pocket. So they decided to ship him straight to Moscow. No more Miami Beach days, no more flashy cars, just a one-way ticket to Russia. But here is the real kicker. The Philippine government said they have no ill feelings toward him. They said he showed remorse and that he's now a free man. I cannot stress this enough. He just dodged one of the biggest artillery shells in the history of the internet. He was facing 2 decades of his life behind bars, and instead, he's getting a free flight home. It's the ultimate get-out-of-jail-free card, and honestly, it's a miracle he doesn't deserve. When I started digging into the local sentiment in the Philippines, I noticed something interesting. About half the people I talked to on the ground didn't even know who he was. His clout died the second that jail cell door slammed shut. I spoke to locals who remembered him from the old prank days, and they were disgusted. They wanted the maximum sentence. They wanted an example made out of him. But the justice system in the Philippines works slow. Sometimes it takes years for a case to even reach a judge. So for Vitaly to be out and on a plane in under a year, that is a level of luck that defies logic. But don't think for a second that those 9 months were a vacation. I started looking into where he was being held, Camp Bagong Diwa. This isn't some minimum security facility where you can have a TV and a gym. This place is a living nightmare. It was built to hold maybe 100 people, but right now they've got over 300 foreign nationals crammed into it. The spokesperson for the Bureau of Immigration literally said their main goal was just making the area livable. Think about that, that is how low the bar is. Imagine the heat, the smell, the lack of space where you're sleeping shoulder to shoulder with people who have committed actual, serious crimes. 2 weeks ago, there was this alarming rumor that Vitaly had his hand cut off inside the jail. People were sharing it everywhere. And honestly, because of the reputation of that place, people actually believed it. Seeing him at the press conference with both hands intact was a relief, but the dude looked like he had been through a war. In some of the recent footage, he looks like he's being baptized. Like he finally found religion after staring at a concrete wall for 9 months. He looks like a man who finally realized that clout can't save you when you're locked in a room with 300 people who don't care about your sub count. But as Vitaly leaves, the relay race of stupidity doesn't stop. It's like he's passing the baton to the next guy. I'm talking about Gino, another IRL streamer who just got arrested in the Philippines. I got confirmation from someone who knows him that Gino has been missing since he posted about his arrest. It's almost like Vitaly walked past his cell and said, "Hey bud, I kept the seat warm for you." I genuinely don't understand the logic here. Why would you fly across the world to a country with some of the strictest penalties on the planet and commit crimes for views? It's a level of content brain that I think we need to start treating as a legitimate mental illness. So where does he go from here? Vitaly is a Russian citizen with an American green card, so once he hits Moscow, he's most likely free to go wherever he wants. He dodged the 20-year bullet, but he didn't leave unscathed. He spent nearly a year in some of the worst conditions a human being can endure. If you look at his before and after photos, you can see the toll it took. He's not the same guy who was laughing on the motorcycle 9 months ago. He looks humbled. He looks like he's finally realized that the world isn't his playground. But here's the thing that really gets me. A lot of people are asking why he got off so easy. Why didn't they make an example out of him? And the truth is probably more boring than you think. The government just wanted him gone. They didn't want to deal with the paperwork, the international pressure, or the cost of keeping him in their system for 20 years. They essentially decided that sending him back to Russia was a cleaner solution than letting a case like this drag on for a decade. Now, I want to show you something that nobody else has noticed yet. When I went to the Philippines to backtrace Vitaly's steps, I found something in one of the local neighborhoods that the cameras didn't capture. I found a piece of evidence, a video from a local security camera, that proves Vitaly wasn't just playing a character that night. There was something else happening, a deeper reason for why he was so desperate to get arrested. It's a twist that changes everything you think you know about this deportation. I'm currently in the process of verifying that footage, and let me tell you, it's going to break the internet. I'm only sharing it with the people who are actually part of the Viral Depth community. If you're new here, you need to hit that subscribe button right now because you do not want to miss the evidence I'm dropping in the next video. We're talking about the real reason the Philippine government wanted him out of the country so fast. It wasn't just about the motorcycle, it was about what else they found on his phone. If you think Vitaly got off too easy, or if you think 9 months in a Philippine jail was enough of a lesson, I want to hear your logic in the comments. I'm reading every single one of them. And if you want the full, unfiltered story of how he even got into this mess to begin with, I've got a deep dive for you that will show you every single step he took before the handcuffs came out. And the Vitaly situation might be over for the Philippines, but for the rest of us, the fallout is just beginning. The prank king might be a free man, but he's a man without a country and a man whose reputation is in absolute ruins. The debt is being collected, and the era of anything for the stream is hitting a wall of reality. Subscribe to Viral Depth, drop a like if you enjoyed the investigation, and I'll see you in the next one where we reveal the secret evidence.